Last March, I completed my second 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, where you sit in meditation for 10 hours a day. And I gotta tell you, I was so glad when the course was over. I even told myself that I will never do this course again. Ironically, on the first day, I had such good meditation sessions that I was already planning to do this course every year, maybe even twice a year. But everything changed starting day 2. It became much harder than my first Vipassana retreat. But the real issue was how I was handling these experiences. To be honest, I was doing everything wrong. I was missing the whole point of the course, and I had the wrong expectations. It took me a while, but luckily I was able to learn my lesson. Let me tell you all about it. The first time I joined Goenka's Vipassana Meditation Retreat was back in 2011 in Kathmandu, Nepal. I had a great experience and I always knew I was going to do it again, but year after year I just kept postponing it. So it has taken me more than 12 years to have the courage to try it for the second time. Although I had a great experience during my first retreat, it was still tough. So I'd been intimidated by the thought of sitting again for long hours, enduring intense physical pain and other bizarre sensations. But last March, it seemed that everybody around me was talking about Vipassana. That awoke my interest again, and at the same time I noticed I felt ready. So I decided to go for it. I was in India that moment, so I searched for the nearest course location where I could start ASAP before my visa expired. Luckily, I was able to get a spot exactly where I wanted to go, the Vipassana Meditation Center in Tirvuannamalai. There couldn't be a better place for a meditation retreat. Tirvuannamalai is a pilgrimage destination famous for its temples, the Arunachala mountain and the Ramana Maharshi ashram. Hundreds of pilgrims visit this ashram daily to practice self-inquiry and meditation. But Tiruvannamalai was 600 kilometers away from where I was, so I had a long journey ahead of me. It took me about 15 hours to reach the Vipassana Meditation Center.
It's actually really nice to see such an empty train station, because that's normally a very rare sight in India. But yeah, I guess this is how it is at 3 a.m. This bus goes to Tiruvannamalai. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Is it 1 hour? 1 hour, no? 1.5. Okay, thank you. Excuse me, which bus goes to the ashram? Blue bus, or this red bus? Okay, so now it's 5:30 a.m. The first bus took 2 hours actually to reach here. That second bus, that was very quick, that was just 5 minutes. And I decided to come straight to the Sri Ramana Maharshi ashram. I don't know, I'm gonna try to meditate there for a little while. I cannot reach the Vipassana Meditation Center before 9 a.m., so I need to make some time. I think it's perfect. First I'll do some meditation, then after get some food, and then I will head to the Vipassana Meditation Center. Okay, now we're on the way to the Vipassana Meditation Center, and I'm here with Lorella from Italy. Lorella came here all the way from Mysore, and how many hours?
5 plus, no, 7.
Okay, 7 hours. She did 7 hours from Mysore. I did about 15 hours from Varkala. And she's also organizing retreats with her retreat company. What do you call it? Mysore Yoga Expedition. And the next
Yoga Expedition.
Oh wow, look at that. That's very professional. Is this the place? Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Because I already registered, now I just need to find my room. This is my room. That's it, super basic. Everything that you need is here. I'm happy that I have a private room. Wow. This is really hard. Oh my god. That's a very thick mattress, huh? Okay, so the 10 days are over. Now it's time to go. And I hate to admit it, but I'm glad that it's finally over. So we're gonna go back to Tiruvannamalai. I'm gonna stay there for one night, and then tomorrow I go back to Barkara. So I'll tell you everything about the course later on.
Okay, so here's what happened during the course. Surprisingly, during the very first day, I had some pretty powerful meditation sessions. And that was even before we started the actual Vipassana technique. We were only doing Anapana, mindfulness of breathing. My experience wasn't something transcendental or hallucinogenic like some people experience in Vipassana retreats, but it was exactly the experience that I was looking for, and the main reason why I had come to this retreat. I had a similar experience during my first Vipassana retreat and during a 1-month Buddhist course in a monastery in Nepal. As soon as I sat down for my first morning meditation, my breath became very subtle, almost as if I wasn't breathing. My body became completely still, like a mountain. It felt as if I had detached from my body, as if there was space between myself and my body. So to make any movement, I sort of had to reach out and make a conscious effort to do so. At the same time, I experienced this blissful, crystal clear state of mind. I was fully alert, calm, focused, and present. I felt awe and gratitude for having this experience and was wondering where I'd be in 10 days if I could continue meditating like this. Could you imagine? You see, when you practice meditation regularly, there are always some sort of obstacles that get on the way of meditation. Maybe you feel tired, fatigued, anxious, stressed, distracted, and so on and on. It's so rare to enjoy such a clear state of mind, at least in my personal experience. But the real reason why this experience was so important to me was because I thought that this mental state was a requirement to start practicing meditation. So I was telling myself, finally, after all these years, I can actually start to meditate. But anyway, everything changed from day 2. Every single meditation from then on was a struggle. There are 8 meditation sessions during the day. Each session lasts at least 1 hour, some are an hour and a half, and there are a couple of 2-hour sessions during the day. But I couldn't sit still or even complete any of the 1-hour sessions. Of course, you're not obliged to sit completely still during the entire session. You are encouraged to do so, but it's not mandatory. You can change your posture and take some rest if you need to. But here's where my ego got in the way. I really wanted to sit still for at least 1 hour because in my daily meditation practice, I'm used to sitting still for 1 hour and without effort. And during my first retreat, 12 years ago, I was able to complete almost all the sessions, barely changing my posture. I even managed to sit still through one of the 2-hour sessions. But this time, no matter what, I couldn't complete more than 30 or 40 minutes, either because I was overcome by sleep or because I was experiencing intense body pain. But I kept trying and trying. Whenever the pain will arise, I would simply observe it with a calm and relaxed state of mind, knowing that it wasn't permanent. And as expected, oftentimes the pain will dissolve. But a few minutes later, it will come back again and again, and each time with more intensity. Eventually, it will become unbearable, so I had to stop the meditation. But when I would check the time, I would be shocked to realize that there were still 20 or 30 minutes to go to complete just 1 hour, and I couldn't continue anymore. This happened in every single meditation session on day 2. And starting day 3 onwards, maybe because I pushed too hard on day 2, I was in constant pain almost all day long. I couldn't even sleep properly at night. I would wake up every hour because of the pain in my legs. I'm sure that crazy thing mattress didn't help. And since I couldn't sleep well at night, I'd feel even sleepier during the meditation sessions. This was happening every single day, and it just kept getting worse and worse. Sometimes I would feel intense pain, or I would get very sleepy as soon as I would sit for meditation. I was feeling so frustrated, I wasn't sure if I was going to complete the course or not. By day 5, I was already counting down the days to the end of the course. So eventually I went to see the teacher to get some advice. First, I told him about my struggles with body pain, and he simply said, "Stop reacting towards the pain." Yep, that's it. Then I told him about my positive experience on day one. Since I thought this was a required preliminary stage for meditation, I asked him if this was a state that I should aim for in my meditation sessions. His answer was pretty straightforward and clear. There is no aim in meditation. Yes, I'm sure that might sound pretty obvious to you, but sometimes you just forget, right? It took me quite a few meditation sessions to assimilate what he said and to realize that the experience I had on day one was still just that, an experience. And it was an experience I had become attached to. I was craving for it. On the other side, I was having so much aversion to the pain and sleepiness I was experiencing. I was feeling frustrated and disappointed with myself. So in a way, I was indeed reacting to the pain. The funny thing is that the main purpose of this meditation course is to develop equanimity, to stop reacting to any positive or negative sensations with attachment and aversion. So I was doing the complete opposite. Instead of equanimity, I was developing more and more attachment and aversion. Luckily, by the end of the course, I started noticing my mistake. You see, when we sit to meditate with a goal or aim in mind, craving for a particular mental state, while at the same time reacting towards any negative experience that we might have, we are no longer equanimous anymore. And without equanimity, there is no meditation. We have to accept every experience as it comes. Only then we can enter a meditative state. Now you might be wondering, why would anyone choose to go through so much pain and discomfort in the name of meditation? I mean, meditation is all about experiencing inner peace and calm, right?
Inner peace.
Well, when you practice meditation, any form of meditation, not only Vipassana, there is always some form of mental purification. This means that things that have been stored in the unconscious mind, perhaps for your entire life, start to surface to be cleared out. This usually happens gradually and imperceptibly. But when you do an intense meditation retreat like this one, where you sit for meditation for 10 hours a day, this mental purification process gets accelerated. And it can manifest in intense experiences. The sleepiness, the physical pain, strange body sensations, sometimes involuntary body movements, or even emotional pain or anguish are the signs of these mental impurities being brought to the surface to be eradicated. For example, some days I felt a splitting headache on the right side of my head, behind my right eye. Or all of a sudden I also felt intense pain on my shoulders, which was strange because I knew my body posture was relaxed. I didn't think much of it, but there were other moments where I experienced the left side of my face going completely numb, as it had been injected some kind of a local anesthesia. That one was pretty scary, I gotta tell you. But you go through all these experiences because you know that it is all part of the mental purification process. Or maybe it's just because the mind is resisting the process. It's very curious for me to know that on day 10, the last full day of the course, I was finally able to sit for 1 hour straight and without effort. And that was the only day where I was able to sleep at night without any break, almost until the bell rang at 4 a.m. And I woke up the next day without feeling pain. So the thin mattress had nothing to do with it. Perhaps my unconscious mind was a bit relieved knowing that the course was almost over, or maybe I just needed to go through all these struggles to learn about equanimity firsthand. Anyway, realizing that there is no aim in meditation has helped me to finally be able to accept every single experience in meditation without judging it as positive or negative. For the most part. I still experience craving and aversion, of course, but then I remind myself to remain equanimous. Now, to be honest, the struggles that I faced during the course were not enough reason for me to say that I will never do this course again. There were also some things that I hated about the course, but I'll tell you about them on my next video. See you guys in the next one.